All the massive leaks for HHN 34 this year. Universal Studios, right? The classic neon design.
The IP list, there's a couple that haven't really leaked out mainstream, if that makes sense, are awesome. Okay guys, we are back at Universal Studios Florida. It is time for another Halloween Horror Nights 2025 update. We have massive IP leaks. We have permit names, confirmation that certain HHN mini icons are returning this year. There's also new annual pass holder food. So on that note, it's time to talk about the Halloween Horror Nights shirt of the day. We're gonna go back to Halloween Horror Nights, the year of Beetlejuice. They had this awesome shirt. Then they had this glow-in-the-dark hat, right? You have that wonderful design. On the back it says Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I'm not gonna say it a third time because we know what happens if you do that. So that note, that's for all the commercial.
In the history of Halloween Horror Nights, there has never been a creature more terrifying, more horrifying. From the darkest depths beyond the grave.
It's showtime!
It's a ghoulish haunted house featuring the ghosts with the most. Beetlejuice. Only at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
About time you losers gave me my own house.
Okay, welcome back. Let's head in. All right, now outside the Wicked store, they've added a new little sign. Scan to watch an exclusive clip. They're still working on this gift shop. We do not know what it's becoming. They added a couple little changes to the little wand experience. They have a little stand here point where you can activate the bubble wand, then the special little show moment will happen. Have you been hanging out with Ant-Man? Because you like shrunk
How did you know that?
You shrunk a little DeLorean right there.
Pen gave me these, and I can reanimate these into the actual sizes.
So the first little bit of info that we have for HHN this year, right, is so Chris, one of the artists for Universal Studios, tweeted out this.
So Chris tweeted this. He said, "Well, hello, little pumpkin. Good to see you again, ... Insinuating that Little Boo was going to be returning, and then we also know when Little Boo will be returning because the opening day for HHN has been released. Halloween Horror Nights Orlando officially has an opening date. Opening day is going to be August 29th through November 2nd, 2025. We don't know if there's going to be a special preview day, kind of like last year. There are rumors of it returning. So far, the official opening day is August 29th. So we now know the two opening dates for HHN Hollywood and then HHN Orlando.
So yeah, it sounds like Little Boo is coming back again this year. And we were back where they filmed the podcast. So in the last little epic update video, we kind of talked about the struggles that the podcast is having, right? So I was talking to Peter. I was like, Peter, how do they fix this? How do they get people excited for Epic? The format of the podcast just does not work with kind of getting anybody excited. We think we have an idea. Imagine if Universal did it kind of like how when Walt Disney was talking about the upcoming parks, attractions, right? He had a little video. Just use the podcast host as the host, right? And then they can kind of interact with the different creatives, and they can show off different models and maquettes and little pieces of costume and just get people excited by just showing these little details and getting these backstories behind these little details. Because that's how Walt got everybody excited for, Disneyland and the upcoming attractions and Haunted Mansion, just by doing stuff like that. So I feel like Universal could have made videos kind of just highlighting little elements instead of just trying to do a podcast, because a podcast just doesn't work. All right, this is pretty interesting. Over here by the Horror Makeup Show, they kind of have all the windows kind of papered off. I think they might be doing one of those maybe interactive bubble wand experiences over here, but then also on the window over here, it's all papered off as if they're going to change it and something will pop up. So only time will tell. I think it's John Murdy right there. John.
Okay, so our boy John Murdy tweeted out this. Haven't updated in a while. Latest treatment came in at 121 pages. That's actually 6 house treatments done now. Been busy. Scenic, costumes, and makeup design are all revving up. And then someone asked this question. When does construction usually start? I feel like it was in March last year. John responds with April-ish. Now, HHN Orlando, we already know they're well into construction on the houses and kind of building out everything. April was honestly pushing it. I know the teams are working on the Fan Fest. We'll have an announcement upcoming with more information for that.
All right, then over here, they're setting up all the food booths now for Mardi Gras. So they have the register set up, the hand wash station, then some frozen mixers for some cocktails, it looks like. And then here's the front little facade. So again, no menus have been put up. We know a couple of the food menu options coming, but not all of them yet for Mardi Gras. All right, it's time to talk about a Aiello tweet right now. This will all make sense by the end of the video, so let's talk about that real quick.
Okay, so Michael Aiello tweeted out this. In the tweets above, he kind of thanked everybody who worked on HHN. This is the most intriguing part. He said, while I've toe dipped into the event these past few years, I'm elated to now officially, once again, lead and support their fantastic leader, Laura Sauls, and her incredible team as we embark together on HHN 34, which we are well into. Winky face. Thanks to all for HHN 33. Happy Halloween.
So yeah, this is incredible news. So if you don't know who Michael is,
I'm actually involved in the overall thematic for the event. I actually helped create Fear. I'm a part of a larger team, and we're the show direction team here at Universal. My first gig at Horror Nights was actually in a house called Hotel Hell. I remember it was the coolest job ever. I loved it. I was inside a washing machine, and I popped out of a washing machine, and I loved it. I was hooked. We wanted to create an event that we could look at and say, we are celebrating Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. And that was extremely important for us this year, and seeing it now come to fruition and it all kind of pulling together in these last few weeks before we open is really fulfilling. And I'm so looking forward to this year, as well as where this event's going to go.
All right, so this is massive news, right? So if you know who Michael is, OG Universal. He really helped form those icons, those stories, and he's been kind of working on other projects, the past couple years, and doing many different things. I feel like last year, each department is so talented, but I feel like there was just a lot of miscommunication, and that's why everything felt disjointed last year. So I'm hoping Michael coming back can kind of help, get the team together for one, singular vision instead of everybody having their own other visions. It just didn't work last year for HHN. It was just all over the place.
All the seagulls are out right now. They're all looking for some French fries.
Oh no, I spot matching shirts and flags in the air. The tour groups are back. If you work for theme parks, you understand what tour groups do.
Now for the exit of Men in Black, there's normally an arcade here. The arcade is all closed up. Are they turning it into an extension of the gift shop? Are they just refurbing the arcade? They're working on something. Got the little alien right there. They have a little dog tag machine here. There's some different versions of dog tags you can pick up. You can be an MIB agent, some Back to the Future ones. So it all looks like they're about $15 a piece.
Okay, so now let's go over the permit list for the HHN house. Each house kind of has its own code name, and the code name kind of corresponds with what the house is, right? So Ghostbusters last year was s'mores, or the original Last of Us house was pear, because Joel and Ellie are a pair, right? So you can kind of decipher what the houses are by the code name. It's like one of those little breadcrumbs that Universal puts out there to kind of, tease the fans to try to figure out these stories.
All right, so the theme of the nicknames is going to be flowers, carnation, then a lily, then a snapdragon, then a violet, then a poinsettia, then a poppy, then a jasmine, then a daisy, then an iris, and a tulip. So these are kind of little teases to the actual houses and kind of internal jokes. And then when you do the Unmasking the Horror tour, they'll tell you which one of these it represents.
All right, what is going on over here? So this is the Amity bathroom, right? So the Amity bathroom is the last remaining part of the Jaws attraction, but the walls go all the way back here. So it's more than the building, it's all the way out here. So I wonder if there's can demolish it and then build a new themed restroom to the Wizarding World. Hey, look, the construction wall goes all the way around. What are they doing? Yeah, the wall continues all the way over here. There, the bathroom's right here, but the wall is just massive. They have all these different movie posters. Speaking of movies, let's talk about The Wolfman real quick. I went to go see it. These are my thoughts.
All right, so with each ticket, they give you a little poster. It says The Wolfman.
All right, here it is. Featuring Ghost Spicy Blanco Tequila Infected Margarita, a spine-tingling spicy black cherry margarita inspired by Wolfman. Man, so it's gonna be a black cherry margarita with some Sprite. We just finished. Oh, it's the worst film so far of 2025. The HHN costume design looked better than what was in the film. The Wolfman just kind of looked like a Geico caveman ball sack. All the characters are so unlikable. Everybody was miscast. It wasn't scary.
And this is how I feel about the film.
All right, welcome back to Universal. The drink was a 10 out of 10.
It's a must.
It was that perfect blend of not too spicy with that cherry in there. So good. AMC cocktails never disappoint. The movie, on the other hand, so bad. It's like they didn't fundamentally understand what the Wolfman was. The writing was bad. The acting was terrible. This movie went through different directors. Ryan Gosling was originally attached to be Wolfman, but then he dropped out. Now we know why. 4.5 out of 10. It's not the worst thing in the entire world.
Okay, so since we're over here by the Fear Factor stage, let's talk about what the Fuel Girls posted on Facebook. The ways in which we miss the balmy nights spent in the fog of Halloween Horror Nights. We wonder how many nights are left until the next HHN. And then someone asked the question, will you be back? And the Fuel Girls respond with, we'll let you know soon. So it's rumored that the Fuel Girls are going to HHN Vegas, right? So I think we'll be getting that announcement first. Before we get the announcement of them coming to HHN 34th, that is happening. It does sound like they're going to HHN Vegas. So I think that is probably what we'll be hearing about soon. And speaking about HHN Vegas, Alicia tweeted this new trademark application for a logo mark for Jack's Alley for use in restaurant services, bar services, snack bar services, and service service counter. Perhaps this will be the name for an eatery and bar at Universal Horror Unleashed in Vegas, the upcoming year-round haunt. So we can see a better look at that image right there, reusing that same Jack image from HHN 25. And then also James Keaton, the guy who plays Jack, put it on his Instagram story. Now, last year I was hearing that they were actually trying to get him out for at least 2 weeks to open it and then also train the other Jacks, but there's also kind of rumors now of maybe him doing a residency at HHN Vegas.
And then over here by the Universal Trust, these windows are also papered up, but these look like they've been here for a while. I don't think there's an interactive experience coming here. Gone but not forgotten. There's a Earl the Squirrel Holiday Tribute Store sign that I never noticed all the way up there in the window. The facade for the Holiday Tribute Store has now been taken down. And then over here, they've set up the bar in the extended queue for Transformers for Mardi Gras. And I will say, they haven't added any new food booths. What type of private event is this? They have couches? They have like dozens of couches everywhere. They've set up the bar out there. There's some tables. Companies just use these after-hour events as just tax write-off. There's also like the heaters over there set up. It's a little chilly out. Let's go get something to eat. I'm getting a little hungry. So we're gonna pop into Twosome's Chocolate Emporium right now and try the different annual pass holder offerings. If you want the special milkshake, you can just go to the side little milkshake bar and order that there. But there's also a food option. So we're gonna have to sit down. So if you want a milkshake, you can come over here to the bar and order, or you can go to the restaurant and order the milkshake and the food option. It does look like they're doing special Valentine's Day gift sets with little hearts. I've never come in here and looked at these cookies. Look at this thing. A peanut butter cup cookie. We got a rainbow sprinkle cookie, snickerdoodle cookie, like an M&M cookie, and then a dipped peanut butter one. Oh, these look good. I'm gonna start coming in here and trying this stuff.
Twosome's out in Universal Studios. Hollywood is struggling right now. They cut the performers because it's just so empty, but the one here is always busy. It's here. It looks good. Creme brulee on French toast, vanilla maple syrup, Grand Marnier, macerated berries. This kind of tasted like standard, decent French toast. Wasn't anything bad about it. I like the berries on top. Nice little, adds a little bit of sourness to it. My favorite part is honestly the chocolate strawberry on the side. It was like the wonderful Twosome's rich, like dark chocolate on the strawberry. I'm doing 7.5. But now we're waiting on the shake. They're known for their shakes, not their food. Please be good. I think it's gonna do some chocolate damage to my system, I can already tell. So it's gonna be the chocolate peanut butter explosion at the Twosome's Chocolate Emporium. It's gonna be chocolate ice cream mixed with peanut butter and chocolate sauce, chocolate whipped cream, Reese's Pieces, Reese's peanut butter cups, and a chocolate peanut butter pie. It doesn't taste like a Reese's. It tastes like the peanut butter like mousse. Ever had like the peanut butter mousse? It tastes like that, but as a shake. And then there's like a whole piece of cake. That thing is probably 1,000 calories as it is. Okay, here we go. It almost has like a coffee aftertaste where it's like a peanut butter coffee cold brew cake. It's an explosion of peanut butter. The milkshake and the frosting, when it all gets mixed together, you know like the milk at the bottom of kind of like Reese's Puffs, where it's kind of that like very creamy peanut buttery flavoring. It's like that. Then you get that like peanut butter cold brew cake on top. It doesn't taste like a Reese's. It's like a different levels. There's like the 7 levels of peanut butter you're gonna experience within this shake. 10 out of 10.
It's a must.
There are like little Reese's Pieces in there, so it's almost like you're sucking up boba, but at least boba kind of like breaks. So when you suck it up, you hit the Reese's Pieces and it just shoots to the back of your throat. So be prepared for that. Scared me a couple times.
Let's hop into the Universal Studios store here at Citywalk, see what new merch that they have. $25 for this Hogwarts water bottle. It's got all the different houses on it. On the back, it's gonna say Hogwarts. They have the crest with all the different houses on it. It says Hogwarts. $80 for a track jacket. $80, okay. $50 for some sweatpants. It says Hogwarts, and then to represent all the houses on one leg. $65 for this like windbreaker. It's gonna be maroon. They have the house crests all right there. $20 for an umbrella. And then $50 for this pajama top. And there's kind of symbols representing Hogwarts and some of the houses on the pajama top. $79. It's like an acceptance letter. You're gonna have the W for the seal. Pretty cool. It's gonna be a purse. But then here's the matching pajama pant for $40. $85. We have something new added to the retro line. I'm digging it, but it's not a Spirit jersey quality. It just feels like a long sleeve t-shirt for $85. It says Universal Studios, right? The classic neon design. They've kind of all the paint marks right there. Then on the front, it'll say Universal Studios. But $85, that's a little much for a long sleeve shirt. $75 for a new Wicked Lego. I spot more decorations up at the Coconut Club. We can get a better look of the new merchandise shop coming to Universal Studios. All right, so they've added garland to the second story. They've added some Mardi Gras beads up there. They now have a barricade up, and then it's kind of covered up so you can't see what's going on inside the Coconut Club right now. And there's some more decorations on the right side. And some more beads. We have no idea what the theme is, but I'm hoping to kind of, you know, help celebrate the 30th anniversary of Mardi Gras. I will say there's like some glowing orb things and like some sort of giant ball or mushroom thing. It's kind of hard to see with the reflection.
It is getting cold out. The sun is going down. So let's go back to the office, talk about all the massive leaks for HHN 34 this year.
Okay guys, we are back in the office. Let's talk about some of the rumors and speculation for HHN 2025 this year. The floodgates have kind of opened within the HHN community, and then there's just so many different leaks that are happening. I don't know what's going on. The later we get closer to the event, you know, the more people who are kind of interacting with HHN, and that's how kind of the more leaks happen. But right now it's a very small team, but there's kind of leaks kind of happening everywhere. All right, so HHN 365 posted about, you know, the Wyatt 6, the wrestling group coming to HHN this year. A lot of you guys have been asking me, is this real? Is this made up? This is a real thing. It's not 100% coming to HHN. This is so early on in the season. Things always change. We change IPs, we lose IPs. It's too early on in the season. This is a real rumor, and it has a potential of coming to HHN this year. Again, we will just have to wait and see, because sometimes, you know, certain IPs go over to Universal Studios Hollywood, or they stay here, or they're at both coasts. We don't know where this is going, but we do know Michael Aiello is a huge wrestling fan. I don't believe we've had a wrestling house since what, The Undertaker?
Okay, so here's a look at the t-shirt from that year. So the front of the shirt just said Halloween Horror Nights, and then on the back is really cool. I love just like how few dates there were back in the day. And then you had, you know, Buffy, The Undertaker, and then Rob Zombie. Those were the big IPs that year for HHN Hollywood.
Okay, then here's a look at the employee team member buttons from that year, right? So we had one for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the Rob Zombie maze, and then right here, The Undertaker. New maze. The Undertaker. The lists that are kind of going out throughout the HHN community, I will say this might be one of the best years ever for houses for HHN. The IP list, there's a couple that haven't really leaked out mainstream, if that makes sense, are awesome. People are gonna lose their freaking minds when they hear about them. I think the IP list is very well rounded. It's gonna bring in kind of so many different people. There's a house for everyone. Then the original list that's kind of, you know, starting to kind of creep out is also really good, where it's got a lot of like kind of love for past HHN things. We're gonna kind of continue some stuff. I'm really excited to see that and kind of their vision for HHN this year with original houses. Now, one of the original houses that has kind of like really leaked out, I'm not gonna like say what the house is yet. I will kind of tease it. So for Slaughter Cinema 2, there's one property coming from that house for one of the original houses. Again, this is heavily rumored. It's all speculation. A lot of people were thinking it was either gonna be Mardi Gras Murders or Heavy Metal Hell. That's not the case. It's another property within Slaughter Cinema 2 that's rumored to be a house this year for original house. It's an interesting one, not the one that I would have chose. I'm interested to see how they will pull it off in an entire house. The rest of the original house rumored list that's going around is good. I'm so excited. I just really hope they can pull it off, right, all together between the streets, the overarching story, the houses, the shows. All right, so back to the Wyatt 6, right? If they do come, we will be doing kind of a deeper dive to explain to you guys, you know, the backstory and the lore behind that wrestling team. Again, it's all rumored and speculation. We're so early on in the season. Once, you know, kind of March hits, that's when a lot of the different info, you know, starts dropping and everything. We will be able to kind of talk about more stuff at that point. But right now, right, we got Mardi Gras coming up. Universal's kind of focused on Mardi Gras, and then it sounds like we'll probably get an announcement for HHN Vegas first to kind of get people excited and to plan their trips. One of like the original rumors a couple years ago was they were aiming for June. That was a couple years ago. We've seen the construction photos, right, like last month. I don't know if they'll hit that time frame. They still think that it's coming this year, HHN Vegas. We will just have to wait and see. So guys, on that note, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button and join the family.
I love the family.
So I'm gonna keep you up to date on all things Halloween Horror Nights and Universal Studios around the country. I love you all, and I'll see y'all very soon.
Long sleeve t-shirt. Got some Shrek jam out here.